Bishop E.E. Hunter.
And I'm Apostle Aquila Hunter.
And we are so excited about this show we have for you today. We are live and in effect in Virginia Beach, Virginia at the Dominion Fitness Center.
Yeah!
Apostle, I am so excited because we are in the presence of great and awesome people.
Yes, we are.
Our personal fitness trainers,
oh, yeah.
Doctor and evangelist, and Mike and Donna Harris. We are so excited to be with you all on today, or you be with us on today, however you want to put it.
However it goes out, we're excited.
It is a pleasure, first and foremost. First, we want to say welcome to the show. We're so glad that you tuned in with us on this wonderful, beautiful Saturday morning. We're so glad that you tuned in with us. We have an awesome show because a lot of times you see us dressed up. When we come on the show, we're dressed up in our suits and our bow ties, and we're all looking
I'm
good.
always casual.
And we're always looking good, but we have on our fitness clothes.
PT gear.
PT gear. And we're excited because our personal trainers, Mike and Donna Harris, they have been getting us into shape. I mean, they have really been putting it on me. We've been here for going on about 3 weeks now. And I have already lost 200 pounds. So I am so excited about it. I am so excited. And these are the ones that we can give credit to.
Yes.
They were working us over, and really I'm still sore right now. They really done a job on me. But I know for ministry-wise, this is very needful.
Right.
Because, you know, as ministers of the gospel, as preachers, as singers, musicians, you have to be fit in order to serve the Lord to the fullest capacity.
That's it. And we're going to dive into your interview, but Bishop and myself, we were just, praying about our health, about our eating, and we wanted to give God our best. And so we were going through looking for some trainers. And what really excited us about you all is that you were Christians.
Yes.
You were a husband and wife team. And that sounded like us. So when
like
we got
us.
that call that night, we were just elated.
And we had to wait for a little while for them to call us back.
It took a long time.
Now, I didn't quite understand that part.
Me.
But, after a while, and by and by, we got a better understanding of why they took so long to call us back, because they're very busy people.
Yes. Because they don't just train us, they train
a whole slew of folk. I mean, they got them all judges and bishops and doctors. These folks are international.
Yes.
They're international. I was over in Jamaica, and they know them in Jamaica now.
Wonderful. And just the atmosphere here. So we do want to dive in a little before we go into what you do. We want to give our audience a better understanding of who you are as individuals. Because when I come in, I often leave empowered. I leave ignited. I leave happy.
And I leave hurting.
So it's a holistic place. And so we're excited to have you on the show. How long have you guys been married? And tell us about how you all met.
Yeah.
We have been married for 11 years.
Awesome.
11 years. We've actually been together for 13.
14.
Okay, well, 14.
Okay.
She knows better.
You better
I'm not
know.
good at math. I'm not good at math. That's not my favorite subject.
Yeah.
But actually, we met. I saw her walking down the street, and I told my friend, I said, if I ever get a chance to talk to her, I'm going to marry her.
Whoa, that's heavy.
First conversation we had, we talked about marriage, and we really have been together ever since. Every single day I've seen her and woke up next to her, except if I'm on a business trip somewhere for 14 years. So.
Wow.
Well, now that's his story. Now, when you met him, from your point of view, because men and women, we always have two different stories, and then in between that is the truth.
Yeah.
So now let's hear your part of the story.
Yeah, because he stretches it.
Well, he was pretty accurate. We knew somebody in common. And she came and told me what he said, because he told her that she was babysitting for his wife.
Yes.
And so she came and she said, such and such said, he was going to be your husband, and you were going to be his wife. And I said, well, point him out. And so we ended up meeting and having conversation, and just like you said in the first conversation, it was just a God thing, and we just knew we were going to get married, and we discussed that, and we have been together ever since.
And to back up that story, I friend of mine that was with me. And I'm telling you, I told him that he moved from D.C. to Portsmouth. So, I mean, he's local. We can ask him.
Oh, no, I believe you. I believe you. But majority of the time, the men have our version, and the women have their version.
Because ours is different.
Yeah.
Oh, she was a trainer at Bally's in Tyson's Corner. And so I did go and,
peek it out.
I was in there trying to lift some heavy weights,
Yeah. I didn't even notice it.
That's good. The real and freshness,
That's right.
That's incredible. So you said something, it was a God thing. Very few people actually lock into and know automatically. How did you automatically know, I'm going to marry her, she's the one?
Well, she knew God, I didn't, so.
And talk about that. Yeah. You're helping some couples today.
Yeah, she absolutely led me to Christ. I had a prayer's heart. I always prayed.
Yes.
But I didn't know Jesus.
Yes.
And that's what my wife showed me. She showed me. She took me to Jesus. Let me just say it to you that way.
Yes.
Because I didn't know him. I didn't have a relationship. I had a grandmother that prayed, and I wear a bracelet on my arm today with the Lord's Prayer on it because my grandmother, she passed away last year at 100.
Wow.
And every single night she got on her knees and she said the Lord's Prayer. So since I've been in ministry, my calling and my mission is to teach every child that was about that age, 11, 12, 13, the Lord's Prayer. And so some kids went to Mexico and brought me this bracelet back with the Lord's Prayer in Spanish.
Wow.
Come on.
But she just led me to Christ. So that first conversation, we talked about God. It was intriguing to me.
Yeah.
And it was intriguing to me too because you felt the presence of the Lord, and it was a conversation that you wouldn't normally have with a stranger. And so both of us left the conversation really feeling that, we knew that it was the Spirit of God. Because when I talked to him later, I said I never would have had that conversation with a stranger. And in my heart, I knew that this was my husband because my mind was saying, I can't believe you just had that conversation. But God was really in the midst, and he established in that first conversation that this was, unto death.
Wow.
I tell you one thing that we did commit to in that very first conversation was that if we're going to be in a relationship together, it has to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
So even if you hurt each other's feelings, and so we tried to keep that throughout the years. And there's times where it's kind of rough and, you want to smooth things over, but we have a vow where we will be brutally honest with each other no matter what. So no matter what you've done, no matter what I've done, we need to come out with it. And that's one thing that has really helped us, in the years.
Wow, that's good. Now, okay, so you say you're gonna get married. How long was it from that point in getting married? And even dealing with that, we like to just deal with just make it plain and simple for each other. Because even though God said, we believe God put us together, but the first couple of years, it was some challenges,
Yeah, it was about 3 years before we actually got married. We made the decision to move here. I wasn't really settled in terms of career and what I was going to do. Her family lived in Chesapeake and owned a barbecue restaurant, so we thought,
good barbecue.
It's good barbecue.
But you cannot eat that in beef.
That's right.
We can teach you how to do certain
And
things.
there are some good things on the menu.
And you can do anything in moderation. That's what
They got fat-free barbecue as well.
Yes. And anything in moderation. And so we moved here and we went through a time of struggle where we literally stayed in a hotel and we ate out of a cooler and, but we knew the neighborhood that we wanted to live in. We had goals, we had dreams, and so every day we pressed, and even though it was difficult, we had 1 car and 2 jobs, and so we just had to keep pressing forward, and I think those rough times actually sustained us. But before moving here, there was a period of time where you go through being unsure.
Yes.
So I ran away. I knew she was the one.
Yes.
But I had a few girlfriends when I met her.
And I know the thought won't go for that.
So, when you're younger, me and my friends, we had, multiple girlfriends. I was starting lineup. I don't know if you know about a starting lineup, but I've always been in the sport.
Don't put me in that. You did that by yesterday.
And I'm getting muscles now.
Well, I had a few girlfriends, and I had to make sure that if I'm going to be in a relationship, I needed to be committed.
Yeah.
So once I smoothed all that over, and then we were able to get together. And once we were together, we've just been together ever since. But it's had some rough patches, in the beginning. But I'm pretty firm in saying that we've had a strong marriage.
Amen.
And we've had a strong marriage to where we get a lot of compliments because we work together.
And you can feel that when we come in the gym. You can.
Sometimes you can feel when there's been an argument.
Hey, all of us. We came in a little top.
We got that strong discernment. So we walk into the room and it's like we pick up stuff in the atmosphere.
But that's life. I think that makes a successful marriage. I mean, learning how to work through those challenges and learning how to be disagreeable but yet agreeable.
And also, they say you can't appreciate the sunshine until you experience the rain.
That's right.
So every now, sometimes I enjoy arguing because the making up is a whole lot better. Yeah.
Okay. All right now.
Sometimes I just try to start out arguing just to make up.
I prefer to make up without the argument.
For real.
Let's just make up. We can just give all of that.
Yeah.
But she don't. If I go into a room, she'll take the argument to whatever room you're in. So I have to learn how to pick and choose my battles.
Understood. We know you all have children, and I found that I know when we come here, I'm like, they're just intrigued. I'm like, now tell me this. But I just enjoy your story. I love the balance that you all have in your life. Tell us about your children. We see them sometimes come in and out, and then we've seen the grands and just how you all interact. And it's amazing how they can do everything you do in a day. We're going to talk about that.
And I believe I think they have 30.
32.
32, yeah.
And
one
so
on the way.
Good.
Oh yeah, 9 months.
Viewers, she looks so good. All right.
Well, actually, we have 8 children. They range in age from 3 to 24.
That's incredible.
And then we have 2 grandbabies and 1 grandbaby on the way.
Wow.
Right.
And y'all look good.
Amen.
Thank you.
It's all that lifting weights they do.
They have us in here gasping. I'm doing everything but short of crying.
You have a project?
No, but I came slow. When did the whole concept come of having the passion for fitness?
And before you ask that, let me ask you: Were y'all both fitness trainers when y'all met?
Okay.
No,
Wow.
no. I was a fitness trainer when we met, and for me, it just has been a passion since I was young. Even when I was in high school, I trained my friends in high school, in college, and even beyond that. So it's something that I really believe that God has been preparing me for the majority of my life. So.
And she was my trainer, and I've always been an athlete, always played high school sports, and but I've always been a trainer. And so what I mean by that is I was coaching rec basketball teams, I was coaching football teams at 18, 19 years old. And so as we grew in our relationship, I was a sales trainer at a company. And I just heard God tell me that what you do for the world, I want you to do for my kingdom. Wow. And so that involved more than just, the act of winning souls. It also meant in the marketplace. Yeah. And so one thing when Donna was working at some of the big gyms, she would say to me, Mike, what these people need from me is more than what I can give them in the time frame of a corporation. And there were times where they needed Jesus. There were times where they needed to be ministered to, and corporate America frowns on you ministering in any setting.
Yes.
And so I remember coming around the corner into our home, and I told her, I heard what the Lord said. I said, it's time for you to come home. And we didn't know what that meant. We just knew that it was a God thing. So we cleaned out the garage and took all the tools out and found a place to store them and painted the colors and laid some carpet. And we put Hebrews 11:1 on the wall. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And we were believing God that he was going to do what he said he would do. We were believing that he was going to supply us with the equipment because we didn't have a nickel. We had just bought a home. And so we put an ad on Craigslist. And we started bartering with people. And we said, we'll trade you personal training for your equipment. And so we got a treadmill. And we got a bench. And I'm not trying to tell anybody the whole formula now because I got some competition. But
it's God before you.
That's right.
And so people started coming in, and before we knew it, we got a call from the Department of Social Services in the city of Portsmouth wanting us to train in their at-risk youth department. And they found us on Craigslist, out of all people. Yes. And so the contract that they gave us required me to have to leave my job and take on full-time. So I've been training full-time since 2006.
Wow. And let me ask this, because somebody needs to know this. You came home as the head of your house. You heard the voice of God, and you told your wife you're getting ready to come off. Now I hear wives tell their husband they're going to come off all this craziness. Yeah. But look at the order that God set in that home. How did that make you feel as a wife?
Well, before he came to me, the Lord had spoken to me about 2 weeks earlier, and I just waited on the Lord because I knew if he said it to me, he was going to say it to Mike. So when he came to me, it was confirmation of what the Lord had said. So I had been waiting, and shortly after that, when I came off of my job, where he was working, he got promoted. So even the income that I normally would bring in, we didn't miss that income. So the provision was there.
Yeah, and the good thing about that is if you do it God's way, it's always going to work out. It is always going to work out. And I think a lot of times we mess up when we don't do it God's way.
That's right. And you know, I had a lot of people tell me, man, you crazy. You shouldn't do this. But I knew what I heard. Yeah. And my resignation letter stated that. My resignation letter was to save whoever read it. And it basically said that I was going to do the will of God. And you know that you're putting pressure on yourself, on your flesh. And you're putting pressure on God to do what he said he's going to do. Because I said, you know, Lord, your name is on the line on this one, just like mine is. Let's go. And so, but it was some rough times where we weren't sure how things were going to go. And, you know, but he just has always provided a way. He's always been there. So.
And so you actually took your garage and y'all turned it. Let's talk about that. How was it crazy for a minute, or just the zeal of fulfilling your purpose? How was it?
It was probably crazy for our neighbors, because we started growing, and we would
all these cars coming.
We live in a cul-de-sac, right? Yeah. So I would set up cones in the cul-de-sac, and we would do boot camp drills in the cul-de-sac. I'm talking about jumping jacks, push-ups, you know, whatever we could do right in our front yard. And we didn't have a whole lot of space, and we have a pool in the backyard. I think Donna even did water aerobics with some of the women.
Y'all bad. Bonnie Clyde.
We had to make it work.
Yes,
you know, we had to. You don't work, you don't eat.
So
that was real for us. We didn't work, we didn't eat. And our boot camp actually picked up. So the boot camp really was something that a lot of people grabbed a hold of. We started meeting at the ocean front. And even though we were doing the same exercises at home, it's a better venue. People like going out to the waterfront. And so that really kind of gave us a place to call home. And then we adopted a park across the street, and through our boot camp, the personal training business just kind of picked up.
Wow. I know that you went from your home and now you're in this wonderful facility, and the testimony is incredible. So we do want you to tell our viewers about that. Now, I mean, yes.
Yeah, first tell give them the address and all that good stuff, the websites and all that.
All right.
It's 1830 Kempsville Road, Virginia Beach, Virginia 23464, and the website is dominionfitness.com.
And that's suite 106 and 107. The Zumba studio is 106. The gym side is 107.
Yeah.
And they can hit you up on Facebook, correct?
You can definitely hit us up on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. If you do, let me know that you heard about us on the show. I'll get you in on some free stuff, whether it be a boot camp, a Zumba class, personal training session. You let me know what you're interested in, and we'll get you something.
Tell them the bishop sent you.
Hey, and excellent service. Excellent. They're taking really good care of us. Yes. We're sleeping better, able to minister better. We're losing weight. We're feeling motivated, and you know us, it's helping our love lives. You know,
bang, bang.
We keep it real with y'all. 110. So not only that, they encourage you. I mean, I don't even think I'm doing my best. And they're like, great job, great job. I was like, don't tell me great job no more.
And they are also very informative, which I like. The first time we came, they begin to tell us about the nutritional part as well. They begin to explain to us about the eating, your eating habits, what you should eat, when you should eat it. A lot of times you go to the gym and all they want to do is just pump you and stuff like that, you know, or make you work out. But a lot of times, if you have to understand your eating habits.
Yes.
And that was one of the keys for me, because some stuff, I was just eating
everything.
He took pictures of a couple of things. You was
I did, because me being a good cook, I take pictures of everything that I cook as well. But Miss Donna, she was like, well, sir.
She rebuked us.
Yeah, she rebuked me good. I mean, I'm like, Lord Jesus. But she explained to me, look, you don't need to eat certain things at nighttime. You get your big breakfast and a good lunch, and then your dinners should be a lot smaller, you know. And so I had to tell Apostle that, you know, look.
He's so crazy.
That I appreciated that, you know, because the Bible talks about in all that getting, get understanding. Yeah. And so you have to understand, okay, I might be just lifting weights and working out, but if I don't change my eating habit, you know, then really, you know, everything else is in vain, because, you know, the more you work out, the more you eat, you know, you just hurting yourself. So she began to explain that to us, which is good. That was a key piece. So they're very informative as well.
And they did an assessment, and what I've been telling a few people, it was just an eye-opener for me. I never really used my back muscles, and I was telling them, oh my God, but she scared me straight. I don't use my back muscles, and so she started working with me using my back muscles, and she says, look, because nobody can say my name like she does. Look, you know what? Have you ever seen people and they have those humps in their back? I'm like, oh my God.
Like Notre Dame.
She said, that's because they don't work those back. But honey, I was trying to work every muscle every night I'm doing it. So I was like, I can't. But I appreciate that. I would have never had known that. So they just, you know, assessed. And we had started walking and curving our eating, but we had gone as far as we could go. And let me say this, it's worth the investment to get someone who has the expertise and the knowledge to take you to the next level. We had gone to furthest as we could go, and there was another level of accountability and another level of expertise that we needed. And so that's how we ended here. But from your garage to now this wonderful facility, let's talk about that testimony.
Yes.
And let me first say this, you can't out-train poor nutrition. Wow. So no matter how hard you work, if your eating is not right, you're not going to get the results that you need.
That's deep.
So every trainer that you go to, if they're not stressing to you proper eating, we don't believe in diets. Diets don't really work. And what I mean by a diet, I mean...
We would now like to take you into one of our activities where we separated men versus the ladies.
Hold that right there like that. It'll lift it. And we're going to stack them. All right? Team that stacks the most wins. Okay? All right, we're on a point system. And I don't have anybody connected, tallying the points. If we can just get a piece of paper and get somebody to tally the points. But each team, first team that wins, and we got a clock over there, we're going to do 2 minutes on this one. So can I change this to 2 minutes? Because we never going to get it right. I can tell you that right now. It's going to take us a while for us to figure out each other as a team. We got a clock right here. All right, so now, fellas, let's go ahead and grab this real quick. We're going to go ahead and strategize amongst ourselves. We got 1 minute to strategize. Y'all go ahead. Everybody grab one. Now, you cannot hold it with 2 hands. You can only hold it one. The more tension we put on it, the more control we have. So we can tension and lower. All right. Give me that one right there. I'll take 2. All right. So all we do, we can use the middle one as our one that we're going to stack on. And so we pick from the outside. All right. They got 6 over there? Okay, there. All right. Ready?
Hey, Steve.
I thought I had one. Okay, you can do it. Ready? And go. And we're going to take this in right here. That small over here. Yeah, right here. Right back here. Small over here. Right here. Let it cut it.
But always go back. Right here.
Oh, no. Light movements, fellas. There you got two fellas. It's a light movement. Don't jerk your arm. It's light. Right there. And it goes all the way to the back. But it's not in. It's just a little movement. Don't go too hard.
That's it, right?
Oh, that's
We said that's not a three.
Y'all got a whole lot more than us over there.
Y'all might have beat us. Y'all might have. But it's light movement. So if you jerk it all, it'll not be. All right. If we can just throw that in the bucket right there.
Well, I'll give y'all here.
All right. Now.
I didn't realize what was going on.
If not, we'll tag you too.
What was the secret?
All right. Now, if everybody. Next game we're gonna play is same concept. It's a team building concept. So what we're gonna do is we got a girls' table and a guys' table. All right. Now this really takes teamwork right here. The lineup starting here. Your pipes cannot overlap. They can't go under. They can only connect right here. All right.
We would like to thank you for tuning in to this week's airing of Ministries Shall Not Destroy My Marriage. And remember to visit our website, www.gatministries.com, where you can purchase your copy of this book, or you can purchase a copy of this week's airing or any other airing. And remember to make a donation to Tide TV to help them continue to spread the gospel across the nation.